Good morning, guys. It's 7:30 in the morning here in the UK. It's 8 degrees outside, so it's nice and chilly. My lens is starting to fog up. Got some glasses on because last time the flies was just all over me, in my eyes and stuff. So I'm out on the KingSong KS-S18 for another little ride. Today what I want to test is I've got another video that I found from KingSong, and they suggest higher pressures, and I'll link this little section into the video after this so you can see the difference between the leaflet that came with the wheel and the pressures that KingSong suggests you ride on the wheel. So their pressures are much higher compared to the leaflet, and I think the leaflet is the shocks leaflet, so if you use it for a mountain bike or whatever. So check that out. I also want you guys to drop some comments down below to give me some feedback of what pressures your rider weight and the pressures that you ride in the main and the negative chamber, just for interest sake. So it might help some other people with different ranges of weight, so they have a good starting point at least. The other thing that I want to test, I'm going to go for pretty much the same length of ride as the previous one, where I used my trainers, where my feet were not as comfortable as the flat shoes, my flat Vans. So today I'm riding the Vans, and I'm going to do the same distance, and I want to see if I get the same feel as the trainers in the Vans. So yes, come along, and I hope you enjoy the ride. I would like to go through a quick just not detail, but the settings that I use for my shock now. So this is the user manual that comes with the shock, and as you can see, yeah, so this is the shock settings that they suggest when basically from the manual that comes with the wheel. Now I don't know if other people's manuals or notes is different, but this is the one that came in my box, and this is the settings that I've been riding. So the last settings on my last ride, I was using 220, using the 220 pounds setting, and I was running 165 in the main chamber and 75 in the negative chamber. Then one of the subscribers said to me that there's another video up, and this video shows other pressures for the shock, and this is from KingSong. So today's ride, so this is this other suggested settings for your KingSong KS-S18. So I decided I'm going to go mid-range because I don't do a lot of road riding. I do sort of on off-road riding, so it's not purely off-road, but it's half on, half off. And here you can see it's 75 kilograms, so that's actually spot on into my weight range. And this is the recommended vertical drop that they suggest, what the shock can take and whatever for that weight. And then what I've done, you can see there's quite a lot of play around in between these numbers, but I've now set the shock for this ride at 220 for the upper or the main chamber and 90 for the lower chamber. So on this ride I'm going to test drive that. There's some other settings as well, and what I'll do is I will add this into the video, this little screenshot, so you have some reference. And I'll also reference the other KingSong video where you can find this. But I would like you guys to leave some comments down below to let me know what your rider weight is and what you run on the main chamber and the negative chamber, just for interest sake. So can start seeing if I need to inflate more or run it at less pressure. The other thing that I've not done yet is I haven't knocked out those blocks the suspension block, so that I'm going to do that for the next ride, because currently mine is not really sticking, so I don't think I really need to remove it just yet. But I want to do a separate ride just for that. So now I've been hearing some comments as well about this little auto sensing light on the S18 that comes on, off. This is quite a dark little run in the forest here, and I just went underneath the bridge and the light came on like it should, so very happy with that. Morning. But yeah, it's sort of very much how you expect these things to work. You know, if I look at my Tesla's auto wipers and auto lights, sometimes it also doesn't work 100%, and it's a light sensor, so if it picks up a certain amount of light, then it's going to turn on. For me, it works perfect. The high beam or the beam on the wheel is not that great, but it's much better than my Gotway's little single light, so I'm happy with that. But yeah, it's a little light sensor. When it's dark enough to what they set it at, it comes on, and that's quite helpful, especially if it's when you go from a really bright area to a very dark area. At least you've got a little bit of light. And when you've got sunglasses on that don't change quick enough, then it's difficult to see potholes, holes and stuff. You might have suspension, but you still need to be aware. So yeah, happy with the light sensor so far. Also, I've heard a few other things that, so again, I don't know if it's a production wheel or a test wheel, but they said that the rear mudguard after the first ride fell off. I've done 70-80 miles on mine so far, the production wheel, and the mudguard hasn't fallen off yet. And again, if it falls off because you've maybe kicked it or scraped it, or it fell over and it ripped off, then as far as I can see from it, I had a look at it. From what I can see, it's a you can just use some stick glue, pop it back in, and then the mudguard is back. The mudguard is awesome. You know, it really works well. You know, I went through a massive puddle a few rides back, and it kept the whole rear of my legs and everything spot on, clear of any water and stuff. So happy with the mudguard as well. This is on the production model, so that's why I say I don't know if the guys that were testing these wheels were using production or pre-production models where all the fine-tuning still needs to happen. But let me know how you find your wheel. You know, is it really bad, or did you get one that is really good? Whew. Dog turd. That stinks. Oh, it's super wet. Check here. It rained again last night. So this is the route that I ride to work, and because the trail is so skinny, you can't really go fast. So dodge some cars as well. It looks like they've cut this trail open a bit. This is like super narrow. Last summer I had to fight the bramble bushes. This is why the trip to the office is not that fast. It's so narrow here. people walking and biking.
I'm hypnotized by you. I can't do what you say. I'm hypnotized by you. Love in my
Reached the halfway point in my ride. It's about 10 miles one way. I'm sitting at what, 86% battery life. Yeah, and it took me about, what was it, so half an hour to 35 minutes to ride just under 10 miles. So yeah, very happy with it, very happy. It's not a very fast ride because it's so narrow, and there's really this for 7:30 in the morning. Well, it's 8 o'clock now, but for 7:30 in the morning, this is just way too busy. There's joggers, there's walkers, there's people with their tiny dogs, and it's like just very busy for so early. All good, people getting out and doing a bit of exercise. But yeah, it does make my journey to work and back a little bit slower, and I think that's why the range is so good, because I'm probably cruising at about 25 miles an hour and on the open stretches, but as soon as it gets too narrow and I can't see around the corners for people walking or whatever, people with the headphones in, they can't hear you. It's even if the wheel was making a noise, they can't really hear you. I had to really say good morning quite loud to this one guy in front of me, and he was like, he didn't even hear it, so it's like bizarre. Okay, so I'm gonna head back, and then we'll see how much range I've got left when I get home. So yeah, lovely morning, no wind, very wet ground, but no wind. One of the guys was saying on one of their reviews that it would be nice to have the handle actually stick up, so where you have the option to pull out the trolley handle all the way to push it along, or when you clip it up just to carry it, but it deactivates the wheel. But man, that would be so nice to be able to have that handle option available. I don't know, maybe they can do it in a firmware update, don't know, but yeah, that would be awesome, because the thing is, like next to the canal, because it's so narrow, you need to stop for people to cycle past or whatever, because it's, you have to get out the way and COVID and all that lovely stuff. So just to be able to have that handle there, that you can, when you slide off the back, grab onto the handle, job done, the wheel is stabilized, and then you can carry on, jump on it again. I think there's a sort of a workaround to it. So if you push the wheel forward and then clip it down to the carry position, then it keeps the wheel stabilized. But I need to confirm that somehow. I don't know how, because if the wheel's going to cut out while I'm riding in that position, hey, I don't want to be involved. But yeah, it's so far lovely, man. I'm really enjoying it. It's really a nice wheel. I would have liked more range, definitely more range. What else would I would have liked on this wheel? Just the top of my head. More range, less shock complexity. I don't mind it, but I think a lot of other people it's gonna drive them nuts, because they just want to get up and ride, you know, fiddle and faff with the shock. I sort of enjoy that. I've had loads of mountain bikes where I had to faff with the shock, coil shocks, air shocks. So I'm pretty much used to that type of thing. It's just to get it dialed in. As soon as you get it dialed in, you know the pressures, you make a note, and then you just check it probably once a month just to make sure that it's all good. One of the subscribers also said to why you're not using your wrist guards, you're just using like normal gloves. Winning! I've got it on. The wrist guards is back. My hands are frozen, but the wrist guards is back. It also makes like handling the selfie stick and whatever a little bit of pain, but it's all good. I actually feel much safer with the wrist guards on. Also got some feedback from one of the subscribers that there's wrist guards with gloves. Really, it looks really nice.
I'm hypnotized by you. I can't do what you say. I'm hypnotized by you.
My ride is done. I did just over 20 miles. I'll put it in the end of the video. All the stats of the wheel. I think most of the time I was cruising around, say 20-25, and then when there was like really nice straight bits, 28 miles an hour. But it's very short because the area that I ride, I can't really go fast. I would love to, but I just can't see far ahead enough to make sure that I don't crash into someone. And stopping these wheels, even if it doesn't wobble or whatever, you know, you need a good distance. If you come around the corner to lean back and try and stop this thing on a dime, it doesn't happen. Not in a meter, not in 2 meters, except if you basically jump off or drop a boat anchor out the back. But and that's what I was saying earlier, if you can get that handle to be ready, you can really sort of jump off or use the handle even to pull back, to lean back like hard. but yeah, I like this wheel. This is a very nice wheel. I think if you want to do, say, 25 to 30 mile rides, and you're not going to be going extremely fast, this is going to be perfect. It's comfortable, it's nice and high. I actually did a section of the road, and I went through a massive pothole, and because it was under cover or shade, I couldn't see the pothole with my glasses on, and yeah, the shock just absorbed it. I think that's sort of the nice bits about having a shock. I would like to test drive a V11 just to see how that thing rides, just to see the range and how it feels, because as far as I've seen, it's quite a tall wheel, but it's very comfortable, and it's also it's got massive amount of range. But I'm also interested in the Sherman, the veteran Sherman. It also looks like an awesome wheel. I love that sound the tire makes. So I'd like to ride that thing as well. So but really, guys, if you've got any comments about the wheel, about your wheel, or about this wheel, or you want me to focus in a little bit more on different areas of the wheel, then please drop in the comments below. The other thing that I want to do for the next ride, I'm now finished with the range tests. This is going to be the last range test. The next is just going to be rides, forest rides next to the canal, and wherever I can ride, put some miles on. I want to do a little 100-mile update, a bit of pros and cons, so that might be the next video, or the video after that. I also want to do a range test on the M10, see how that thing goes. But just to feedback, the higher pressures in the shock is a thumbs up for me. That 220 in the main chamber and 90 in the negative chamber is perfect. Well, not perfect, but it's much better than the lower pressures. I've got 15 clicks on the rebound, so that's mid. And on the shoes, I've now done the ride, like a 22-mile ride with my flat Vans, and they are definitely more comfortable than my trainers, because the trainers has got the sole is sort of like a more wedge shape, so you get a bit of a higher heel than the Vans is very flat. And yeah, my legs and feet are very comfortable. It's cold, very cold, but comfortable. So yes, guys, drop comments below, get some conversation started. If you're using specific kit and gear and whatever, drop it in the comments. It might help someone else if they want to decide on buying specific, like wrist guards or knee pads or chest protection or elbow pads or helmets, whatever, or sunglasses, whatever you guys use. Maybe drop in the comments below, so more people, as more people find the videos, they might find it helpful to see what the other people out there use while riding their unicycles. So guys, I hope you enjoy the video. Come back for more. There's going to be more. The temperatures is getting cooler now, so you're going to be seeing me riding more with big jackets and stuff and big gloves and whatever. So yeah, but come along and or please come back, and I hope you enjoyed the ride. Cheers, guys.